Hello everyone, I'm Thao. I'm 34 years old and welcome back to Thao Vietnam Diary. Welcome to my little corner of Vietnam, my family, my hometown, my everyday life, and all the little story that happen around me. And actually, some of you may have noticed something a little confusing. In one of my videos, I introduced myself as 34 years old. Why? In another video, I said I was 33. No, I didn't make a mistake. Both numbers can actually make sense in Vietnam because we have two different ways of counting age, the Western age system and the traditional Vietnamese way of counting age. When we use the Western system, my age is calculated from my actual date of birth, so I'm 33. But traditionally in Vietnam, we also have a way of counting age based on the lunar calendar. Traditionally, a baby is considered 1 year old from birth, and the age can increase accordingly to the lunar new year rather than simply on their birthday. So, depending on which system we are talking about, I can be 33 in the Western system and 34 in the traditional Vietnamese system. So, if you see me saying 33 in one video and 34 in another video, I'm not getting younger or older between the videos. It's just one of those little cultural differences you might come across when living in Vietnam. So how have you all been? I know I've been a little lazy about uploading video recently, even though I've already entered this new chapter of my life, so-called gap time. But honestly, I haven't exactly been doing nothing. I've actually been quite busy with my family, especially accompanying my younger sister through a very important period of her life. And while I've been spending more time at home, I've also been taking care of a little project of my own. I've recently been giving my balcony a bit of makeover. I've been cleaning it up, rearranging things, and adding more plants. It may sound like a very small thing, but I actually really enjoy creating a little green space around me. This is the space for a regional specialty fair held in the city square tonight with singers performing. It's going to be very lively. This place attracts visitors from all over, giving them the opportunity to shop and enjoy local specialty from the north to the south, with stores showcasing delicious regional delicacies. After spending so much time working, traveling around, and being busy with different things, having a balcony full of plants gave me somewhere quiet to slow down and breathe. By the way, the weather here has changed quite dramatically too. For a while, the heat was absolutely exhausting. It was a kind of intensive sunshine that made everything feel dry, dusty, and almost burned. But now, the extreme heat has eased a little. Instead of the dry, scorching weather we had before, we are now moving deeper into a rainy and stormy season. We have already been through the storm number 4, and it feels like we are getting ready for more heavy rain and storm. So now, instead of worrying so much about the heat and drought, we are watching the sky and worrying about heavy rain, flooding, and strong wind. That is one of the things about living in Vietnam. The weather can change so dramatically from one season to another, and perhaps because the weather has become wetter and cooler, I've been enjoying staying at home even more. My little balcony garden is starting to feel more alive too. There is something really satisfying about watching plants grow after you have spent time taking care of them yourself. And there's another reason I have been spending more evening at home. This is also the time of year that Vietnamese people traditionally call Go Hon or the Ghost Month. It is the seventh month of the lunar calendar. There are more traditional beliefs and customs surrounding this month, and some people prefer to avoid going out late at night or doing certain things during this period. I'm not necessarily someone who follows every single traditional belief, but growing up in Vietnam, these traditional are still part of the culture around us. So I've been staying home a little more in the evening, and perhaps that gives me even more time to sit down and edit my video, taking care of my plants, and tell you all this little story. And now another Mid-Autumn Festival is coming. It's actually made me think about last year. I remember celebrating Mid-Autumn Festival and enjoying that beautiful time with family, and then not long afterwards, the storm came through and caused terrible damage. It was honestly quite shocking. One moment everything felt so normal. People were celebrating, children were enjoying the festival, families were spending time together, and then nature suddenly reminded us how quickly everything can change. So this year, as another Mid-Autumn Festival approached, I find myself remembering last year's celebration a little differently. I hope this year we can simply enjoy the festival peacefully, stay safe, and hopefully have fewer storms and floods. Sometimes, as you get older, you realize that the simple thing you once took for granted, a peaceful evening, a dry home, a green garden, sitting with your family, are actually things worth appreciating. And maybe that is also why I've been enjoying this slower period of my life. I'm not rushing quite as much. I'm spending more time with my family. I'm taking care of my plant. I'm watching the rain. And I'm slowly finding more time to tell you about the ordinary little things that make up my life here in Vietnam. But why I've been enjoying this slower pace, my younger sister has actually been incredibly busy. She's 11 years younger than me, and recently she has been going through a huge transition of her life. She has just finished her university degree and completed her graduation thesis. Then she had to start looking for a job, go through interview, start her probation period, and finally she got officially hired. So many things happened one after another. And as if graduating and getting her first proper job wasn't enough, she also decided it was time to buy herself a motorbike. She bought a newer 2026 version, but interestingly, it is actually the same model of the motorbike that I have been riding and relying on for several years. The bike itself costs around 39 million Vietnam dong, which is roughly $1,530. And that doesn't even include the registration, paperwork, accessory, and all the other little expense that's come with buying a new motorbike. For a young person starting her first job, that is quite a big commitment, but seeing her finally have her own job, her own income, and her own way of getting around make me feel really happy. I think every family has moments when you suddenly realize that the younger people have watched growing up are no longer children anymore. They are starting their own life, and I have to say I feel much more relaxed and confident knowing that my little sister has finally taken this first step into adulthood. She has also just had her graduation ceremony. My mom and her friends, her close friend, and I just went along to celebrate with her. It was such a simple family moment, but I really enjoyed it. There's something special about watching someone you loved received their graduation certificate after years of studying, and now she has officially started working for a fashion brand. Her position is in sales. So it may sound like just an ordinary first job, but honestly, I think it's a very good beginning. Her starting income is around 8 million Vietnam dong a month, approximately 314 US dollar. And considering how difficult the job market has become in the countryside where I live, I think getting a stable job at this stage is already something worth being proud of. She has a job, she has her own income, and she has her own motorbike. And now she is beginning to build her own independent life. I'm genuinely happy for her. Oh, and I almost forgot to tell you something else. This weekend, my family will attend a special ceremony to celebrate my mother. She is being awarded a medal in recognition of 35 years of party membership. That is quite a significant milestone for her, so I'm really looking forward to going there with my family and sharing that moment with her. Maybe I will bring you along with another video. I also have another little project in mind. I want to go back and visit the countryside, the hill, and the farmland where my father has his land. But unfortunately, it has been extremely hot recently, so I decided to postpone that trip. For now, I already have some footage from my hometown and countryside and green hill and especially the green tea plantation. Tea is actually a very important part of where I come from. My hometown is well known in Vietnam for its green tea. People here grow tea, pick the fresh leaf, process them, dry them, and eventually sell the finished tea. Vietnam has many different agricultural regions that are famous for particular products. For example, the red Bazan soil of the Central Highland is ideal for coffee and pepper and cashew and macadamia nut. And where I live, the soil and climate are especially suitable for tea. The tea from my region has a reputation across Vietnam. When Vietnamese people hear the name of my province, tea is one of the things they immediately think about. But there's something about this industry that I find quite sad. The tea itself can be a famous local specialty, but the people who actually do some of the hardest physical work don't necessarily earn very much from it. For example, my aunt-in-law is around 60 years old. She still goes out to pick tea leaf. She's paid about 15,000 Vietnamese dong for every kilogram of tea leaf she picks. That is only around 0.6 US dollar per kilogram. On a good day, she can pick around 7 or 8 kilograms, so she might earn approximately 105,000 dong to 112 to 120,000 dong a day, which is only around 4 US dollar to 5 US dollar per day. If she were able to work consistently, her monthly income might be around 3 to 3.5 million Vietnamese dong. Roughly in US dollar is about 118 US dollar to 137 US dollar. But in reality, it isn't that simple. She's already 60 years old, so naturally, she cannot work as quickly as a younger person. And tea picking also depends heavily on the weather. When it's rain, you cannot simply go out and pick tea as usual. So there are so many days when she cannot work. And then that means the monthly income can be even lower. My father also grows tea on our family hillside land. He actually loves drinking the tea that he grows himself. I sometimes joke that he's addicted to tea, but perhaps is it also his way of saving money? Why buy tea when you can grow your own? Whenever I travel away from home for work or meeting colleague, friend, manager, or people I haven't seen for a long time, I often bring dry tea from my family, my hometown, as a small gift. For me, it is more than just tea. It's a little piece of home. It is something that represents where I come from. And I do feel a little sad when I compare the tea industry, my hometown, with some other tea producing region where tea has much higher economic value and contribute more significantly to local people life. We have a beautiful tea hill and we have a generation of experience. We have a climate and soil that are perfect for growing tea. We have a product that people across Vietnam know and love, but the people at the bottom of the process, especially the worker who spend hours physically picking the tea leaf, can still earn surprisingly little. I think there's a much bigger story here. And if I have the opportunity, I would really like to go back to my hometown and make a proper video about Vietnamese tea. I want to show you the tea hill, to see how people pick the leaf. And I want to show you how those fresh green leaves are processed and transformed into the dry tea that Vietnamese family drink every day. Because making good tea is actually much more complicated and time-consuming process than many people realize. And perhaps when you see the whole process, you will understand why a simple cup of Vietnamese tea can carry so much history, culture, work, and love behind it. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Thank you for listening to my stories. And if you are new here, welcome to Thao Vietnam Diary. I'm Thao. I'm 34 or 33, depending on which Vietnamese age system you use. And this is my life in Vietnam. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.